Alrighty, everybody. I didn't have my mic on. Welcome to the Spin Zone, episode 16 for season 3, and overall, it is episode 71 for the entire broadcast group. So, we're trying something new tonight. We are actually broadcasting exclusively via YouTube and Rumble and X and feeding Facebook those feeds back. So we are trying to see if this is going to work or not. So if you want to chime in, be sure to chime in via YouTube. We're not sure about the Facebook comments, whether they're going to come in or not. But once again, we thank everybody that is tuning in, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest updates on this show and all the other shows. Well, the Cowboys had another game this weekend. They played the Carolina Panthers. It was an away game. It was in North Carolina, and they got to meet up with a former Cowboy, Rico Dowdle. Dowdle, I believe that's the way you spell it or say it, whatever. I'm getting tongue-tied tonight. But yes, they met up with a former Cowboy, and it was quite a game. We're going to go ahead and go through the highlights tonight. And if you hang in there, we'll move to the next screen. And by the way, it's just me tonight. My co-host was unavailable to be on the show tonight. So Steve's playing hooky, and you just got to put up with me tonight. So here we go. Alrighty. Let's see here. Let's activate our slides. Hopefully. If I can find them. All right. And by the way, even though the slides are superimposed on top of the live chat, you can still put live chats. So here we go. So it was game 6 of the regular season, and once again, they played against the Carolina Panthers. And with 4th and 2 and 9:24, whoa, hold on. What happened? I actually started the slides from the end instead of the beginning. I'm telling you. Alrighty, so it was game 6. And what the heck? No. Oh, it was a typo. It was 4th and 2. It was 9:24, but it wasn't the fourth quarter, it's the first quarter. That was a typo on my part. After not being able to score a 7-point touchdown through the drive, a 31-yard field goal is attempted by the Panthers. And they make it. It is good. And it allows the Panthers to score first in the game for the first 3 points. And that takes the score 3 for North Carolina and 0 for Dallas. So they were unable to score an actual touchdown through the drive. And so with 4th and 2, they decided to go for a field goal, which was good. It allowed them to place some points on the board. 3 for the Panthers, 0 for the Cowboys. And not to place the Cowboys far behind, with 4th and goal and 4 minutes still in the first quarter, Dallas attempts a 23-yard field goal, and it is good, allowing the Cowboys to tie the game 3-3. And so Brandon Aubrey was able to tie the game with less than 4 minutes in the first quarter. Not surprising, of course. And with first and goal and less than 57 seconds in the second quarter, they went for almost the entire second quarter without scoring. And with that said, it was the ball is handed over to our running back, number 33, Javonte Williams, and he rushes. What the heck? Hold on. No. This is a Game 5 slide. Oh my gosh. Oh, I got my slides messed up here. Sorry about that. With 4th and 1 and barely the start of the second quarter, a pass is thrown to number 40, Hunter Luepke, for a touchdown. That allows the Cowboys 7 points after the extra point, and that takes the Cowboys to take the lead 10, while the Panthers remain at 3. So for some reason, I didn't get rid of last week's slide, so forgive me for that one. And I usually go through these before the show. Alrighty. And then with 2nd and 9 and 11 minutes still remaining in the second quarter, a pass is thrown to number 4, McMillan. It allows the Panthers, to tie the game 10-10 after the extra point. So McMillan is able to get a touchdown, and then they score an extra point, and that brings the game once again to a tie, 10-10. And of course, not leaving the Cowboys behind, with 2nd and 7 and 3:39 in the second quarter. A pass is thrown to number 87, tight end Jake Ferguson, for a touchdown, allowing Dallas to regain the lead 17 to the Panthers 10 after the extra point. So Dallas once again regains the lead 17-10. And not to leave the Panthers behind, with 22 seconds still remaining in the second quarter, the Panthers attempt a 56-yard field goal, and it is good. That takes the score Dallas 17, while Carolina inches up 13. And I should have put North Carolina, because there's actually 2 Carolinas, right? A South and a North. One's a liberal state, and the other one's a conservative state. And with 1st and 10 and 13 minutes and 19 seconds in the third quarter, a pass is thrown to our former Cowboy, number 5, Rico Dowdle, who rushes in for a touchdown, allowing the Panthers to take the lead 20-17 for Dallas after the extra point. So a former Cowboy gets his revenge and scores a touchdown against his former teammates and allows the Panthers to take the lead. This appeared to be the Micah Parsons moment. in this game. But of course, not to keep Dallas out of the running with 3rd and 2 and 2:39 left in the third quarter. A pass is thrown to George Pickens, and he rushes towards a touchdown, taking the score 24 for the Cowboys, 20 for the Panthers after the extra point. So George Pickens' touchdown allows Dallas to regain the lead 24-20. And with 1st and goal and 12:20 in the fourth quarter, McMillan once again strikes, and the Panthers score another touchdown. That takes the Panthers to regain the lead 27-24 for the Cowboys after the extra point. And of course, the Cowboys not giving up with 9:20 left in the fourth quarter. Old reliable Brandon Aubrey attempts a field goal, and it is good. So they tie the game once again, 27-27. So there's still plenty of time for more scoring, and Brandon Aubrey ties the game once again. And with less than 3 seconds in the fourth quarter, the Panthers attempt a 23-yard field goal, and they make it, and that takes the score 30-27 for the Cowboys. And unfortunately, the Cowboys lose the game by very little. It was a heartbreaking loss, but one that hopefully will be made up in the next few games. And what are the next few games? Well, Sunday, October 19th, they are going to play the Washington Commanders, and that's at 3:25 in the afternoon. Then, on November 3rd, they meet up with Arizona, and that's at 7:15 p.m. And then on November 17th, they face the Las Vegas Raiders, and that's also a 7:15 game. And then on November 23rd, the week before Thanksgiving, they play once again the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's at 3:25 p.m. Hopefully, we'll get our revenge for the loss during the opening game during that time. And then on Thanksgiving Day, which is Thursday, November 27th, they will play Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. And that game is at 3:30 p.m. So either you've finished your Thanksgiving lunch or it's right before your Thanksgiving dinner. So if you have Thanksgiving lunch, don't fall asleep because you may miss the entire game in the process. And then on December 4th, they'll meet up with the Detroit Lions. That's a 7:15 game. And then on the 14th of December, they'll play Minnesota. That's a 7:20 p.m. game. And then on December 21st, the week before Christmas, they play the LA Chargers. That's a 12 p.m. game. So if you go to church that day, make sure you go to an early service or don't go at all because the game starts at 12 and even God's going to be watching that day. So be aware that the game starts at 12. And then on Christmas Day, they'll meet up with Washington once again. That's also a 12 noon game. And then the last game of the season, they'll play the New York Giants, and that game is at 12 p.m. as well. And that pretty much is the remaining schedule. Once again, the next game is with Washington, followed by the Denver Broncos on the 26th of October. I think I missed mentioning that one. And we've got a fan, Jaime, that surprisingly isn't on tonight, or maybe he thought we were going to be on Facebook tonight, but he's looking forward to that game. He's really looking forward to that game. So that game's not going to be at AT&T Stadium. It's going to be at Mile High Stadium in Denver. So the oxygen level is going to be a lot lower for the Cowboys. So we'll see how they do. But that's it, folks. That's pretty much it for episode 16. Like I said, we did something a little different tonight. We're broadcasting primarily on YouTube, and then we're feeding the YouTube feed over to Facebook. And of course, we're still broadcasting like normal across X and Rumble. So those feeds are still the same. But of course, with this method, the only comments coming in to the podcast are through YouTube. If you're not a subscriber to our channel, Brownsville Tech Live, be sure to go out to YouTube, become a subscriber. When you do that, you'll be able to get notifications of this show and all our other shows. And if you're still a Facebook person, then please follow Brownsville Tech Live and also 956 Live as well for additional updates and notifications. But primarily, go out to YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and if you get an opportunity, go out to Facebook and follow both of our pages. And by the way, you can also go out to X and follow us there as well. So go out to Facebook, subscribe to the channel. Go out to YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Go out to Facebook and follow both pages. And if you go to our X channel, you can go and become a follower on X as well. So, alrighty, everyone. Hopefully next week we'll have Steve back and we're going to have episode 17. Hope everybody has a great evening and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.